Our main TV monitor got stolen.
It did?
No. We just sold it, actually. No, we moved it out to the other room, but we do normally have TV. It looks cooler in here when the TV monitor's on there.
Ah.
Okay. You can see there's wires everywhere. You see there's wires everywhere. And wires and cables. We've got flashlights everywhere. You know, we've got 2 flashlights, okay, at the channel. You know, we've got extra switchers lying around.
Just in case.
Just in case. You know, we've drilled holes in the roof of the house. Wires going everywhere and holes in the walls. So it's basically we've destroyed my house. Hello everybody, my name is Tom Green, and we're here at tomgreen.com, the channel, and this is my living room actually. You can see I've put some lights on the ceiling, and we've built an entire talk show set here in my living room, where I've been doing a talk show for the last 2 years now actually, and you can tune in almost every day. We're on pretty much every day live, and you can watch the shows on demand at tomgreen.com. We've got lots of great comedians and actors and musicians that come up here, and we talk on the air live on the internet. You can phone in, and people call in on video Skype and speak to our celebrity guests. Today my celebrity guest is Steve. Steve is my dog. You can tell Steve is a dog by looking at her. Steve is a girl. Hi, Steve. You can tell we're doing a show right now, can't you? We're doing a show. Give me a shake. Yeah, that's right. Give me a shake. Yeah. And let me give you a little tour of the channel.
All right.
You can see this is about this TV of a homeless gentleman, actually, in Compton, California, for $20. He was very happy to receive it. And it works. And this is an old RCA microphone. It's a working microphone. It's the same microphone that you would see on Larry King's desk, or that was on all the old school classic talk shows.
When you do the sound, do you have a boom mic, or is everybody mic'd up when they come in?
When we do the sound, everyone's got a lav microphone, and everyone's wearing a lav mic, and so all the mics and sound run through this control area over here, which I can show you. Follow me over here. This is our control room area. The switching gets done here on this little switcher. All the cameras are running through here. You can see all the individual camera shots are running through these little monitors. And the director could sit here and...
And you've got just one person, aside from you, running the show mostly?
Yeah, there's one person here. Victor, that's him right there.
Hey, Victor.
See him? Victor, wave at the camera. See, that's Victor waving. Victor, maybe you could explain to the people how this works. Why don't you go over and explain to the people how that works?
Well, we have our switcher here that switches the 5 cameras that we have set up over there, the HD cameras. Our microphones all run to this, to the mixer, which then runs out to the web through this little switch right here. And obviously, Tom told you about the preview on the cameras right there. This is our VT system, and what this does is all of our video playback. So when we have guest clips or like that, when the TV right back there is played off of this.
That's made by NewTek.
NewTek Video Toaster. This is our TriCaster. So when you see our web stream, this you can see it better. When you see our web stream, it's running off of this, which is basically a smaller version of that, also made by NewTek. And this is actually part of our switch that Tom uses to go on the air all by himself when I'm not around.
What are some of the what's some of the big challenges? Just, I mean, aside from, you know, the lack of 100 people working on a talk show, like running it all yourself and coordinating it and coordinating people coming in, that just seems to be, there's an awful lot going on at any given moment.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge really, is just getting lots of content, good guests up here. It's gotten easier over the last couple of years because we've had a lot of great guests and they've told their friends and people have had a good time on the show, and it's sort of expanded that way. So you know, it's getting easier and easier to get funny people up here. That was difficult at first.
What's something that's kind of surprised you? So you've been doing it for 2 seasons now. You're on a bit of a break. What's something that surprised you from when you first started? And you're like, I'm going to set up a studio in my home. I'm going to, you know, I've always wanted to do a talk show. I'm doing a talk show. And what has kind of either changed for you? What have you learned? What has kind of surprised you over the last 2 seasons?
Well, I mean, surprised me. I mean, everything is pretty surprising to me about it. You know, it's been a lot of surprises. I'm trying to think. I mean, trying to think of the biggest surprise. I mean, I guess I was surprised at first when I first started how difficult it was to actually get the technology to work. You know, I think 2.5 years ago things were not as as stable, I guess, as they are now, and since we've started working with Bit Gravity, that things have really improved. You know, when we first started, we were using Windows Media. I thought we were going to plug it in, we were going to have access to millions of people. Instead, if you get over 400 people tuning in, the whole sort of feed would crap out, and it was sort of not really tested. The technology wasn't really tested because nobody was doing a show that had over 1,000 people watching it live. So it was working great if you had 200 people tuned in. So then as soon as our show started getting going, and we had a lot of viewers, lots of things started to not work, and that was surprising to me. I just figured that the technology was further along. So I really had to spend the last sort of couple of years really spending most of my time really kind of getting into the technical side. I like to think of myself as somebody that likes, I want to be a talk show host or comedian or whatever you want to say. I like to think that would be my main focus, but really the last 2 years my main focus has been the technology. I mean, figuring out how to build the studio, figuring out how to get the web video to work and what companies to work with, like Bit Gravity and things like that. There was no defined way of doing things. So I guess that's been the biggest surprise, that I've turned into almost like a little bit of a computer geek. I thought that, I'd have a computer geek come in and put this all together, and then I'd just start doing some funny comedy. But instead, I haven't really had time to do the funny comedy. I've been spending all my time, figuring out how to plug in all this stuff with Victor. So, because there's nobody really has a right answer right now. That's what's exciting about it, and that's what's fun about it. No one really knows the right way of doing this. It changes every 2 months. I mean, we've just revamped everything in the last 3-4 months. We're doing things differently every couple of months, because new things come along, new ideas come along, and it's just me and Victor here working on it. So, we're always sort of working on the website more than on the show. So I think now that the technology is really working, I think this year is going to be real fun for the channel. Fortunately, I haven't really, if you look at the shows I've done over the last 2 years here, I've basically been interviewing people, and so, it's been great to have a lot of great comedians come up here, and they come up and sit here, and I just basically let them go off and be really funny, and they take care of the comedy, and I just kind of run the studio. So this is the edit bay / office here. We do some editing in here. Basically a large RAID drive here with several terabytes of storage that we can store all of our shows. We've got hundreds of hours of Webovision. I call it Webovision. We've got hundreds of hours of Webovision stored on there that we can access at any time and edit and things like that. So it's been pretty interesting putting it all together. I mean, this is my house. I live here. I've been here for about 5 years, and about 2.5 years ago I started building the studio. And you can see it's kind of taken over the place. This used to be a bedroom.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for inviting us into your home/studio.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming by tomgreen.com. Check us out on the web. I'll be there. Give me a call on my home phone number, 323-845-9976, or call me on Skype video.